All right, let's go ahead and get into it. The San Antonio Spurs, 20 and 62 draft picks, the number one overall pick. We could just go ahead and put Victor Wembanyama's name there. 32, 44, 13 future first round picks, over $30 million in cap flexibility. They only have one major free agent, Trey Jones. They have a young core, Keldon Johnson, Sohan, Branningham, and Vassell. Veteran contacts of McDermott, Graham, and Collins. Obviously, they've won the offseason already. They got Victor Wembanyama, the biggest and most heralded prospect since LeBron James. The basketball guys are always smiling down on the Spurs. Every time they tank, they get their guy. They tanked and got David Robinson. They tanked and got Tim Duncan. They tanked and got Victor Wembanyama. And this is obviously a place where he wanted to play because of his connections with France and Tony Parker, who's probably one of the greatest French players in NBA history. So it's just all aces for the Spurs. I think that they have a lot of assets and a lot of cap room, and they need to focus on improving the roster. I think that you want to build a team out around Victor Wembanyama that's decent and solid immediately. So one, he's not feeling like the weight of the world is on his shoulders from the get-go, and two, so you can protect him a little bit. So the first thing that I think that they need to do is get a defensive big man. You don't want a situation where Victor Wembanyama is having to guard Jokic out the gate, having to guard guys like Joel Embiid, um, guys like Sabonis initially. So I would invest in a big man now. Maybe Zach Collins is that answer. They had a guy like Ken Birch, big men that are just of the rugged variety are out there in the league, and you can even go the veteran route. I would say Dwight Howard, but he's a little bit childish. Maybe you don't want that to be on your team. Maybe go the DeMarcus Cousins route. You just need a big man to take away the pressure and the pounding away from him. And then I think they also need to invest in a primary ball handler. Branningham is a guy who flashed last year, but I watched a couple of games and he's a strictly one-handed bandit. He goes right the majority of the time. Once you force him left, his effectiveness drops off greatly. I think that under the pressure and under the scrutiny that the Spurs are going to be under next year, I think teams are going to actually take them seriously. When the Spurs rolled in this year, it was a win, and I don't think you were really reading your keys. So I think they need to invest in a primary ball handler. That leads to my trade that I would put together for them. I would package a guy like Devontae Graham, a couple first round picks of the lower variety. They have so many picks from so many different places. Maybe put some protections on it. Trade that to Orlando. They have a glut of point guards and Markelle Fultz, obviously Cole Anthony, Suggs. I probably will go the Cole Anthony route. He provides some shooting. Shooting is one thing that this Spurs team lacks, aside from Doug McDermott. So, and he provides some scoring and some offensive punch. So, I think that's a trade that will be beneficial to both teams. Obviously, there's a log jam over in Orlando. This is a position of need for the Spurs. So, as far as the offseason, I don't think that they need to do much. I think they need to sign some solid players. Obviously, they have a lot of money with the new CBA. I think there's going to be more free agents of quality types that are going to be lingering towards the end of free agency, and they need to be keen on swooping those guys up. I think that they need to just focus on protecting him. You don't want a situation with Chet Holmgren happen where this kid gets injured. This kid's been playing a lot of basketball lately. So we'll see about how much, if at all, he plays in the summer league. But just at the end of the day, I think they've already won the offseason. There's nothing really more to say. Just get some defensive help in the big man positions, get some shooting, and get some ball handling. All three of these are positions of glut in the NBA, so I don't think it's going to be hard to find. And the trade that I'm really interested in them going is going the younger route, keeping that young core together, getting a guy like Cole Anthony, a guy that's flashed in this league, that shoots it very well, a guy who's in a logjam in Orlando, trading away a contract in Devontae Graham and using up some of those picks. You have your marquee guy. Now you need to surround him with talent. All right, let me know what you think. Leave me a comment, subscribe. As always, the game is game.